In this tutorial 8, we would like to show you the advanced alerting features which are included in the functional level of Reno Plus. Please be aware that this functional level Reno Plus requires an additional license where the Reno features are included in the feature set of all brands except Desigo CC Connect. The Reno Plus license allows to have up to 20,000 recipients. With Reno, only 100 recipient users are possible. The option to set recipients active or inactive. To use time zones for the recipients. To use multi-level escalations. Scheduler and channel selection for notification templates. To bundle notifications to avoid notification bursts. To use a cloud service for SMS. As first, we are going to activate the Reno Plus feature in engineering mode and in management view, system settings and security. Here I have to select the right user groups. In my case, just the system administration group, and in the application rights to scroll to the notification rights. Up to now we had only the Reno feature selected, and now we activate also the Reno Plus feature for this user group and make sure we save the changes. As next, we change back to the operating mode and to the application view and select the recipients node in the mass notification node. The first benefit mentioned in this tutorial is that Reno Plus supports up to 20,000 recipients. We will not show this advantage here in this tutorial for practical reasons. The second point is the option of activating and inactivating recipients. Inactive recipients generally do not receive any notification, and a good use case is when the recipient is off duty due to absence. As you can see here in the list of recipients, we do have a new column called Active. Per default, all recipients are active. This feature cannot be changed here, but you have to open the tab General of the recipient, and here you find the checkbox for the activation or deactivation. I will deactivate the operator 5, who is one of the receivers of the high-level events. I save the changes and the tick disappears in the list of the recipients. This feature is now also visible in setting up message templates in the notification templates node. When changing to engineering mode and selecting our high-level event message template, we have the result as before in the recipient node. Here I do not have the possibility to check or uncheck this feature. It has to be done in the recipient's node. I change back to the operating mode. I trigger again the same event, and you can see that now the message was sent to the operators 3 and 4 and to the facility manager, but not to the operator 5. I cleared the event and all messages for the next point. The next feature is the possibility to use time zones for the recipients. I select again the recipients node and operator 5. Time zone is the local time of a region or a country of a recipient user. It allows you to set the time zone for the selected recipient user so that notification contents can be delivered to the recipient user according to the set time zone. By default, the server system time zone is selected. Please note, time zone feature is supported for SMTP, GSM and ESPA devices. The rest of other devices use the server time to send messages to recipient user device. And also not to be confused with date and time format. This is as per the preferred language selected. The time zone setting changes are also possible in the General tab of the recipient user, just above the Active checkbox. The time zone pull-down menu offers you all possible time zones of this globe. Any settings change will require to use the Save button. With Reno Plus, multi-level escalations are possible. It's virtually the same workflow that we needed to engineer the initial escalation. So we change to engineering mode. First, we create a new escalation template in the folder Escalation Templates we have foreseen already. We name it now Escalation 2 and need to configure the message editor. As recipient, we are using for demonstration purpose again the facility manager and the operator 1. Of course, on a customer side this looks a bit different, but here we are demonstrating the feature and for this, these two users are okay. We save it and switch to the message content editor, and here we generate again a new content. I do have the possibility to use signature with Reno Plus. Also here we have to save the settings. And now we have to make adjustments again to the notification template, which triggers the next escalation if nobody responds to the message. I need to add again the acknowledgement actions in the long text and short text areas. And in the message editor, I need to enhance the settings with the acknowledgement period of 2 minutes and enable the escalation feature. We are again ready to see the action, and for this I switch back to the operation mode and trigger the in the meantime well-known thermo overload data point. So far nothing new, the high priority events, the high level events in the notification area. New is that because of the inactive operator 5, the message status expander shows us one failure at the number of recipients. The mail system shows us again that operator 3, 4 and the facility manager received the message and for known reasons not operator 5. We wait again the 2 minutes and now they are over, and you see now the escalation 1 messages appearing at the operator 1 and 2. When I refresh the incidents, I will get the escalation high level notification in the area below. We move back to the mail system and wait until the next 2 minutes are over. Now we see the Escalation 2 messages appearing at Operator 1 and the Facility Manager. We go back to the Browse Incidents tab, and after refreshing again, also the Escalation 2 message appears. Let's now acknowledge the event in the event list. You are familiar with this kind of game. New messages are generated and now Operator 3 and 4 are replying to the message. The notifications shows us the 2 acknowledged recipients. As soon the alarm has been fixed, the colors of the statuses changes again to red, and this means that this remote notification is solved and disappears again with refreshing it. This was a use case for the multi-level escalation feature. As next, we go back to engineering mode and select one of the configured notification templates, maybe the high-level events. As you might have already recognized, with the Reno Plus feature, we have 2 new expanders in the Message Editor tab, the Scheduler and the Channel Selection expanders. The Scheduler expander can be used to transmit a message or text periodically, for example, information to be displayed regularly on a screen. In most use cases, it requires the control of receiver devices, which are only possible with the additional mass notification license, for example, screens. Consequently, the use of this feature without the additional license for mass notification makes little sense. The Channel Selection expander allows to select a subset of delivery methods and device types for sending a message. This feature can be useful when having several delivery methods defined, especially audio and multimedia types, which again require the mass notification license. For both features, you will find detailed descriptions in the help in the subject of the Message Editor settings. Another feature Reno Plus offers is to bundle notifications to avoid notification bursts. The Incidents template workspace offers a message optimization parameters expander to set up the bundle in case of a notification burst. I am using our defined high priority events template. The message optimization parameters expander is part of the incident trigger expander and only visible with the Reno Plus license. A use case could be when after a network failure with many devices, the devices start to send a flood of information after reconnecting to the system that can be filtered by this feature to prevent the send of hundreds or thousands of messages. This function provides a way to group the events raised in quick succession and triggers a consolidated message, kind of a summary incident, describing the event burst situation. The Enable checkbox is self-explanatory. The burst time can be incremented in multiple 30 seconds and allows to configure the time window in seconds which will be considered when alarm shower occurs. As an example, I will set the burst time to 30 seconds. The burst threshold allows you to configure a number of incidents that can be triggered per burst time window in case of an alarm shower. Here I will set a threshold of 2 messages for demonstration purpose. The burst text allows you to configure the text content to be delivered in summary incident which is triggered due to alarm shower. Important: the burst text will replace the text content along with variables configured in the message template. In our case, we define the following text: burst text message for the high priority event. And now once again we have to save the changes. These settings we have made have the consequence that we only allow 2 messages within 30 seconds, and the third message in the text field already contains the information text we have defined as burst text. As next, I switch back to operating mode, select the mass notification node in the application view and the browser incidents tab. As you can see in the summary bar, we still do have 2 high category events and both are processed. I will now try to generate more than 2 alarms with high priority level within 30 seconds, and I also disabled all escalation features. I am now simulating 10 events in a short time period on the rack, and the email system shows me first 2 emails and a bit later the third message. All of them have the unchanged information in the subject field of the email, this time without the ID number for the acknowledgement possibility. The text field of the first 2 messages are as expected, where the third one has our defined burst text. Even after waiting a while, no more messages are appearing. For the last feature in this tutorial 8, Reno Plus offers a cloud service for sending SMS messages. We switch now to a small presentation. In this short presentation, we would like to give you reasons to use the cloud service for SMS and an overview of the requirements. Why do we have the cloud service for sending SMS? The number of SMS messages that can be processed by a GSM modem per minute is very low. Only about 6 to 10 SMS messages per minute. In projects where a higher transmission rate is required, it is recommended to use the cloud service for SMS, which is included in the Reno Plus. To use this service, it requires to add the SMS gateway driver from the library to the management system. This driver is not included in the default drivers of Reno Plus because it is a solution which is only needed in special cases. To add a SMS gateway network and configure it in the management view of the management system. And it requires also sync. An external cloud service provider is needed for the SMS gateway service. At the end of the sync web page, you will find the pricing information of your country. The parameters of this cloud provider are required for setting up the SMS gateway network. The PDF document Software Device Configuration Guide, available in the help, contains all the details about configuring the external SMS gateway provider. In the backlog of this presentation, you find the information where to find the configuration guide. Notification provides the capability to send messages to recipients through the short message service SMS by way of an external SMS gateway provider using the short message peer-to-peer SMPP protocol. This is the management system server with the new notification engine, including the SMS gateway driver, which needs to be loaded from the library to the management system server. The notification engine will send the SMS messages as SMPP protocol to the sync gateway provider, which was responsible for the distribution to the mobile receivers. For more information, please get in contact with the product manager Urs von Gunten. We are at the end of this tutorial 8. In number 9, we are going to learn how to configure easy buttons in the graphics.